What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Storytime, Becoming Your Hero, where we tell stories and we talk about them, all in an effort to help you become the greatest version of yourself. Now, I recognize that just about everybody and their dog is using the term greatest version of yourself. But I'd like to come at it from this angle. We all need to go on a journey of growth. We all need to develop. And so we can't do that without sharing with each other our experiences, our stories. And so that's what I'm here to do today, and really every day, is share stories with you. So today I want to talk about habits and how they can kill you. So once upon a time, there was a police officer in training. And this officer was required to learn how to disarm somebody of their firearm. So he would practice every day. And he noticed that the technique that he was taught wasn't very efficient, it wasn't very fast, and it wasn't very safe. So he just started developing his own technique. And very quickly, his technique became renowned amongst other police training schools. And they adopted that technique and started training their officers. And so what this young cadet did was he practiced every day with his wife, hours a day, to get the technique so ingrained within his body's memory that he didn't have to think about doing it, that it was as easy as breathing. So one day, it was time to put the technique to the test. He was out on patrol and somebody pointed a gun at him. And just like that, he disarmed him in a blink of an eye. As soon as he disarmed him, he took the gun, gave it back to the criminal, and then the criminal shot him and killed him. Now there are two types of habits. There's thought habits and there's body habits. Now our body is very connected with our thought habits. In fact, our body habits cannot develop without first forming our thought habits. And I'd like to propose to you that the habits that are dangerous, because of course there are habits that are healthy and good for us, but the habits that are dangerous are the ones that we did not intentionally form, that we didn't give any thought towards. It's those habits that weren't intentionally formed that can lead us into some dangerous body habits. And that's exactly what happened with the young policeman. He didn't realize that he had formed an unintentional habit of giving the gun back to his wife so that they could practice over and over again. Though his intention, his desire was good, the habit he formed without knowing it killed him. So that means we first have to think about how we form things in our mind. Now, if I can use another analogy from nature, when the rain falls on the earth, the water heads downhill always and towards the ocean and forms something called rivers. And as those streams trickle down, they form channels in the earth. And then when the water gathers, a river is formed and a large channel is formed, and that becomes the main route that the water decides to travel on. Well, our thoughts are the same as the water. Wherever we keep dripping and trickling water, channels are formed, and eventually they come together to create one main channel, and that's where the water will always form. Will always flow. That's where the thoughts will always flow. And so there's this idea of taking hold of our thoughts and deciding where we drip the water of our thoughts, if that makes sense. Recently, I went for some tests at the hospital and I received some difficult news. Long story short of it is, I had been working for months and months to bump up the health of my lungs. And I left that meeting finding out that I had worked all those months and put in all that blood, sweat, and tears to find out that I had gone backwards. Now, because I formed thought habits intentionally that were designed to help me confront those difficult news and difficult situations like that, I was able to come out of that meeting strong and encouraged and ready to take on the next challenge. And those thought habits looked like focusing on what is going well, what's worth being thankful for, what kind of good things are available in my future that I can reach for. But if I had formed thought habits, meaning I fall into the habit of despairing or becoming discouraged every time I hear something bad, that means that anytime news comes my way that I don't like, I'm going to automatically divert into that thought process, that negative river of thoughts. Well, let me tell you something. Those types of thoughts affect your body. Your body responds to your mind and says, well, if you don't like what's happening, I don't like what's happening. And it begins to get sick. And there's this funny relationship between your health and your thoughts, where if you think sick thoughts, you get a sick body, if I can put it in those terms. And so I want to encourage you and actually kind of call you to arms to take those thoughts, grab hold of them, and be intentional about what you think. Because what you think will change the health of your body, but not only that, it'll change your internal wellness, your joy, your ability to enjoy relationships or overcome difficult circumstances, which is kind of the main point of this whole thing. So I want to encourage you that that's totally possible, and it simply starts by recognizing when bad thoughts come into your mind and saying, no, I'm choosing to think this way. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. Well, let's do some experiments and see how long it takes to form some thought habits, because I can tell you right now, it's quicker than you think. So, hey, I want to bless you guys and thank you for watching. I want to tell you that there's so much goodness available for us in the future. And let's journey to change the world together by becoming that greatest version of ourselves. Catch you next time when we talk about the garden of our mind. The Zero to Hero Club is dedicated to inspire and change the lives of those dealing with hard circumstances. We aspire to see you live vibrantly and become the true hero you really are, so you can be that, overcome, and change the world. Come join the club at thezerotoheroclub.com. Let's write history.